if you run a wedding business and you're struggling with your Facebook ad, then this video is for you. Now, note the word wedding business. What I simply mean is that if you own a fashion house and you make all these ashibi wears, ashibi dress for high-end brides, you're trying to get booked by this caliber of persons, high-end brides, high-end couples, then this video is for you. Maybe you own a bridal boutique where you sell bridal gowns and all that. You might even as well be a wedding photographer. Now, these persons all fall within the wedding business category. This video is for you. Here in this video, I'll be sharing with you my secret Facebook ad strategy that you can use to bring more couples, high-end brides into your business. I know that whatever I'm sharing with you here are stuff that have been proven to work with my previous clients, as you can see here in my screen. This stuff have been proven to work very, very well. So I believe if you follow this step by step, you will be able to achieve that same result or the same result in your business. Right, so this is what I call the ads to booking framework. But before we go deep into it, I would like to talk about the old way of running ads, which is what you're currently doing in your business right now. And I also point out some flaws of the system, why it's not working, and the issues it's actually giving you. Then we'll go down to the new way of running ads, which is what I call the ads to booking framework, and I'll break down everything for you step by step. So sit tight here. So the old way of running ads, let's talk about why this is actually costing you money. You see, one mistake I see most persons do or make, especially in the wedding business, is that they boost posts instead of using the ads manager. Understand? You see, when you actually boost posts, all you're basically doing is donating money to Meta. You're just giving Meta free money. You're just running ads and hoping that the right people see your ad and hoping that if they see your ad, they do the right thing. That is not any marketing strategy. That is just wishful thinking. And also, when you boost posts, the actions that you can actually take are very, very limited, especially in the wedding business, especially as a fashion designer. The actions that you can actually take are very, very limited. You can maybe set something like age range, interest-based targeting, but that's just it. The actions are very, very limited. And that mistake I see most persons make is that they run one random ad campaign. There's no strategy. They just run one ad, expecting the right people to see it, and hoping that when this person sees it, they do the right thing, book a meeting with them. So that is just wishful thinking. That is not a marketing strategy. Understand? And third on my list, what persons do is that they send cold leads straight to a book now page. Let's talk about what is a cold lead. Now, these are persons that are not even aware that you exist. These persons don't know you from anywhere. They're not aware that your brand exists. They could be your potential customers, but they are not aware that you exist. So you're just running one single ad, expecting that when this person sees it, they'll get to a book now page and they'll purchase from you. When it comes to the wedding business, now this is like the most important day of their life. So you expect them to trust you with just one single ad that they see or one single post that you run. That is highly unlikely. Another mistake I see most persons make is that they run ad, there's no warm up, they don't nurture their audience, they're just expecting people to buy from them right now. That is all they're thinking. And there's also no retargeting. They're just leaving a lot of money on the table. And now, second to last on my list is that most people, they target everyone the same. You understand? There's no audience distinction. This image you're seeing right here on my screen, let me pull up to that one, is what I call the total addressable market TAM. Now, this is the total number of persons out there that could potentially buy from you. Potential number of brides or brides to be that could potentially book you to make their wedding dress for them or make their shibi wears for them or even shoot their wedding for them as a wedding photographer. Now, these are these persons. And for you to understand this audience properly, for you to understand these persons very, very well, you need to think about them in three different ways. You understand? You need to think about them in three different levels. So first, we have the cold leads or the cold audience, as I like to call it, and we have the warm leads and the hot leads. Now, let's say, for example, if you run a fashion house, now these persons will include people who may want to work with you, as well as people who may want to buy a bridal gown or make an ashibi wear with you, or anyone who fits in your ideal customer profile. Or if you're a photographer, if you're a wedding photographer, these will be people who are planning a wedding, as well as people who need pre-wedding or engagement shoots. Again, anyone who fits in your ideal customer profile, understand? They will fall into this space. And again, so what is the cold leads? What do they mean? Now, these are persons, like I said previously, who have never heard of your brand or your business. Now, these persons don't know you exist. They could potentially need your service, but right now they don't even know that you exist. And now we have the warm leads. Now, these persons know you exist. As a matter of fact, they might have even visited your website. They might be following you on Instagram or Facebook, but currently right now they don't need your service right now. And lastly, we have the hot leads. Now, these are persons that need your service right now. In fact, they're out there in the market searching for your service. They're just a minute away from making that, that purchase decision or that decision to get a fashion designer to make their wedding dress for them or to get a photographer, whatever the case may be. Now, what most persons do is that they run ads and they treat everyone as the same. They treat every single person out there as hot audience. They're expecting people to purchase from them right now. Rather, what you need is a system that speaks to these different audience differently. You understand? You need a system, what would I call it? How would I call it? Sort of like a wheel, a system that can be, you understand, a turning system that speaks to different audience differently at each stage of the funnel. That is what you basically need. You need to be speaking to this different audience differently. They need different message at each stage of the funnel. You need to nurture them until they're ready to buy from you. If you can actually do that, you potentially increase the amount of audience, so the amount of brides coming to your business. Your sale will dramatically increase, and that's what I talk about. That's what I mean when I talk about the ads to booking framework. And lastly, the last mistake I see most businesses make is that they do no tracking, no data, no idea what's working and what's not working. As a matter of fact, they don't even have what I call pixel installed on their website. What's a pixel now? This is just a small piece of code added to your website that tracks user actions, page views, and every single thing a user does, and it works hand in hand with Facebook. It sends Facebook user information, and Facebook goes out there and look for more people like this that are most likely to purchase from you, that are most likely in need of your service. So that's what the Meta Pixel does. Now we have showed you the old way of running ads. Let's now talk about the new way of running ads, which is what I call the ads booking framework, and why this would transform or revolutionize your business. So a new way of running ads. Now this is simply a system that takes a stranger that have never heard of you before, a newly engaged couple, takes them from the first time they see your business all the way down to them making a purchase, all the way down to them handing over their money to you and saying, okay, I want to work with you, I want to actually make my wedding dress for me. So this is that system. At the heart of this system is what I call audience distinction. Like I said previously, this is just a way to speak to this different audience differently at each stage of the funnel. So at each stage of the funnel, you want to nurture them, you want to speak to them differently because they need a different message. You don't want to treat every single audience as the same. Some persons are ready to buy now, some persons are not ready to buy right now. So you need to nurture those persons until they're ready to buy. You need to stay in front of their face until they are ready to make that purchase decision. Alright, so let's go deep into it. First, let's talk about the cold audience. When it comes to the cold audience, what we need is that we just want to introduce ourselves. We want to get in front of newly engaged couples within your area or within the country. We want to get in front of those newly engaged couples and introduce our brand to them. Remember, these are persons that don't actually know you exist. So we introduce ourselves and our brand to these persons. And there are a number of number of content that you can run for this purpose. You can run educational content. You can also run a before and after bride transformational reel for this type of content to introduce yourself to newly engaged couples, newly engaged brides, and stuff like that. Then we have the warm audience. So at this stage, we want to build trust and proof. We want to retarget those people who have seen our ad before but haven't inquired yet. You understand? We want to stay in front of their faces until they're ready to make that purchase decision. Now we are aware that this person is potentially in that service, so we want to stay in front of them. We want to keep building that relationship with them, stay in front of them. And there are several ways we can run, there are several contents we can run to achieve this purpose. We can run a lead magnet offering them something of value, and that way also we get their information, we get their contact details, and we can keep building that relationship with these persons. And keep in mind that when it comes to the wedding business, trust is a very, very important factor when it comes to marketing, when it comes to making that sales, because these persons are trusting you with one of the most important day of their life. You understand? Again, you want to run a real bright testimonial. That way they see themselves, they see, okay, that this person can actually handle the service for me. They see what you've done for someone else and they can picture themselves in that same scenario. That way you're building trust and you're building proof as well. And then we have the hot audience. So at this stage, what we want to do is that we want to convert those persons who are most likely interested in our service at this point. So we want to make it easy for them to book us, and there are several contents we can run. We can retarget with ad and testimonial quotes. We can also run a message to book ad. You understand? At this point, these persons are hot and they are ready to make that purchase. They already trust us, they have seen us, we have stayed in front of them, we have nurtured them, we have built that trust and that relationship with them. So this is basically what the ad booking framework is all about. And if you find this interesting, you can book a one-on-one call with me and we'll walk through your business and we'll see if this is something that can work for you. I can just see if we are a good fit. I'll be leaving a link down in the description below. Yep. So I'll be leaving a link down in the description below. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.